Gone are the days when the SEC is able to just come in and dominate.
It wasn't a dream. It really happened.
Gone are the days when the SEC is able to just roll over opponents. You remember when Bama, back in the day, when Bama just ran the show and no team, it seemed like it was an impossible feat to really get past Bama. If you did it, you had to be on some Cam Newton type ish. You had to be on some Johnny Manziel type ish, right? Them days are over. The SEC is no longer feared. And who really would have thought it would come to this? You got Bama taking L's. Who they take a L to, man? Florida State. And no disrespect to Florida State, but they just went through a mass change, a mass shift. And you knew they wasn't going to be gone for too long. You knew they wasn't going to be down for too long. I mean, Florida State, it's been a while since they've been on top. They had that horrific stint with DJ. Cool. But it's just when you think Alabama, you think maybe not pummel Florida State, but at least beat them by a few tubs, maybe one, maybe two. But you're going to take Bama all day, right? You got South Florida beating up on Florida. I mean, when does things like this happen? And mind you, you can't count out those small-time Florida teams. Me personally, I believe that the most talented football players come out of the state of Florida. Georgia may have something to say about that. I know for damn sure Texas got something to say about that. Cali might even want to scrap for theirs. You know they gonna squabble it up. But me personally, being from California, I believe that some of the most athletic, gifted athletes reside and come from the state of Florida. That's just what it is. So when you have teams like a South Florida, a Central Florida, a FIU, yeah, they're going to be ready to play. They got all the Florida rejects, but the Florida rejects ain't no slouches. Especially when you're playing another team from the crib. When you're playing the big dogs, big bro, they're always going to come correct and they're always going to come to play. You should never sleep on a Central Florida. You should never sleep on a South Florida. That's just what it is. But damn, going into the swamp. You know, whatever happened to what Urban Meyer built? Didn't Urban put a stamp on that place? Didn't Tebow teach you anything? I mean, Percy Harvin, Aaron Rodriguez, hell, Cam Newton. Didn't these guys teach you anything? And what about Saban? What about Saban's legacy? Alabama going out sad. I don't give a damn about that 70-piece they just put up on Lord knows who. Those guys are nobodies. No disrespect to them. I'm sure they're going to have somebody off of that team that Alabama whipped on. I know some player is going to get their shot at the NFL. Doesn't matter where you go, fellas. Doesn't matter where you go. Get the film, collect your film, but that's neither here nor there. This video is specifically to talk about the fall off of the SEC. I gotta be 100. They're no longer the baby NFL. And then you got Ark Manning over there in Texas. Texas, a brand new member of the SEC. They're coming into the league ranked number 1. Yeah, I know Ohio State is the defending champions, but that's Big Ten football. That's not SEC football. SEC football used to stand for something. Hell, it used to mean something. 2025, the transfer portal intact. SEC don't mean shit. Do y'all remember back in the day when Kentucky was looked at as a joke? Hell, people would say You'll be damned if you go against the SEC's weakest team. Kentucky will get with anybody from any conference. They're just garbage in the SEC. That used to mean something back in the day. I mean, Lord have mercy, man. I know Saban's rolling over in his grave. I know Gene Chizik is rolling over in his grave. You got these teams from the ACC coming in and smacking teams from the ACC, SEC. I mean, where they do that at? A lot of these guys should be ashamed of themselves, man. You got Arkansas State running back kicks. Man. Where's Dak Prescott when you need him? But all BS aside, man, seriously, gone are the days when people fear the SEC. You know, with this transfer portal intact, players are coming from absolutely everywhere, and they're leaving. You seen what happened to Nico. And by the way, Nico's over there not necessarily doing bad at UCLA, but he's getting exposed. Now, yes, I'm saying gone are the days of the SEC, the good old SEC, the baby NFL. But damn it, if Nico would have stayed at Tennessee, let me just say this, he would have had a lot more talent around him. He would have had some receivers that could make up for all of his mistakes and his lack of, you know, of whatever it is he's missing. He would have had a running back that would at least put up some numbers. It seems like he's over there by himself in the Big Ten at UCLA. Not enough talent around Nico, so he has to do it all himself. And if he's not able to be Superman, then you can count UCLA out. But this video is not about them. Nico probably should have stayed his ass at Tennessee. But back to this SEC. Nobody's scared of you no more. Nobody fears you anymore. The South is not the place where people want to be as far as football. A lot of these names don't hold the same amount of weight. Bama don't hold that weight. Georgia's not holding that weight. Texas, you know, they always been in the Big 12 anyway. But they came on over to the SEC. They ain't holding no weight. Who else in that thing? Missouri? No weight. Tennessee, that quarterback doing solid up over there. Tennessee looking good. You know, you can't never really count Georgia out. I'm not taking what Ark Manning did against San Jose State serious. I'm not hearing how amazing he looked against San Jose. Miss me with that. That's a joke. The SEC's fall off need to be studied. And I think we can attribute it to one thing and one thing only, the rise of the Big Ten. Ohio State's always been a somebody. Oregon has always been a somebody. A lot of these teams have always been good, but they seem like they weren't necessarily able to get over that hump. The hump is over. The storm is over. Storm is over now. You got Notre Dame. Top teams, but not just during the regular season. Teams really truly making noise in the playoffs. The playoffs used to be SEC dominated. I know a lot of y'all are going to get in them comments and say the SEC was still dominating last playoffs. They not feared like that, Shaw. I know what you going to say. I know what you getting at. Nobody really tripping if Bama come into town like that. Remember them Trent Richardson days? Remember Mark Ingram? Y'all remember Julio Jones? Damn it, AJ Green? These names used to mean something. These names used to mean something. God damn it, the Honey Badger. Where's LSU when you need them? Where's Les Miles? They just don't hit the same. So y'all let me know how y'all feel about this, man. Is the SEC still the SEC of old? Or have they had just a drastic fall off? Have they failed? No pun intended. It's the failed athlete. That don't mean you got to fail in life.